Hickok 45 here. Look what we have. A company called Civilian Force Arms gave us this rifle. I'm not sure what it is. They call it something like an AR-15. They say they're really popular these days. Theirs is specifically called the CFA-15 or the Hagos 15 after the owner's name, Jonas Hagos. He's from the Sudan. He's a disabled American vet, actually, from he's wounded in Baghdad by an RPG, and has been very familiar with what do you call them, M16s, AR-15s, for many years, and finally started the company a year or two ago after about a decade of research and dealing with these, not only using them, of course, in battle, but just studying them, what works, what doesn't, and it's very much into them. So interesting. I guess they're popular. I believe him. I don't know. I think I've seen a couple of them around. But that's what it is. He did not send instructions about how to put it together. Just send it in a box and these parts. We're going to try to figure it out, okay? We got some magazines loaded. He said they shoot this 5.56 round, and we got Federal to send us some of those and see if we can figure out what it is. So we appreciate that. We appreciate Bud's Gun Shop making all this possible, being able to do all this. So check the link. Check the link to this company. If we don't get the gun together, you might write them and reprimand them for sending us a gun in parts, okay? You think I'll make it on the comedy show? I doubt it, right? Okay. Let's see if we can get it together and show you what we have here before we actually make noise with it, all right? So this is called the Lower, boys and girls. I do know that, right? And it's pretty cool. It has a velocity trigger, it's called. And it's a sweet one, I'll have to tell you. I like this trigger. And it had ambidextrous safety. We took that side off. Don't tell them, because John and I don't like ambidextrous safeties. They get in the way of our knuckles, as does this piece. That'll have to come off too at some point. But we got to get the castle nut Loctited and get that off at some point. It's got a neat stock on it. It's a Battle Link. And I have never fired a gun with that on there. I think Mission First offers those, but it feels good. It's very light and very positive, very solid. So I thought I was spitting on that, but it's actually starting to rain a little bit. Okay, we have done videos in the rain, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So that is pretty neat, and the grip is from Mission First too. It feels good. So let's see. I bet this thing has to go back together first. Oh yeah, you got a bolt here. This is a properly hardened steel bolt. They use only the best parts, I can tell that. And the Carpenter 158 steel or whatever it is, you can see the gas key is properly staked. It's chrome lined. The carrier is chrome lined. Everything is, of course, magnetic particle inspected and all that good stuff. And they offer a bunch of different configurations depending on what you want. All right. So let's see if we can figure out. I bet that goes like that. It just this little thing looks like it ought to go in there. That little can. Yeah. I can figure this out. I bet this little thing goes in there. What do you know? What do you know? Let's try that. I bet that goes in there to hold together. Yeah, looks like a plan. And we got a BCM charging handle there. Pretty cool. So got all that together. And the upper looks like a Midwest Industries rail. I like that rail. Okay. We've got a Vortex red dot on it. Pretty cool. Strike fire. And shows you a little red dot. It's got kind of a pencil thin barrel. They call it the pencil version. They've got several barrels available, but it's not too narrow. It's just too thin. It's just not all that heavy. Okay, and then got a flash hider there. And flip up sights from ARMS. And there you go. Let's, we better get it together. Okay, I imagine if it rained on this gun, it wouldn't work. What do you think? That looks like that goes in that way. That appears to go like that. This looks like it probably goes right there. And it's a pretty nice snug fit. Yeah, I bet it'd work. I bet it would fire. You want to try it? Let's do. This is pretty cool. And I actually called them up to get some more information about the firearm. It's pretty cool. Talked to Ernest Johnson and Jonas about the gun, and studied their website and everything. They're really good folks up in Illinois. So interesting individual. And this gun is tight, and it feels like quality. John and I like it. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you that. Regardless of where it comes from, so far it has worked. We've shot it a fair amount, and it just feels like quality. Let's see if it works in the rain. Okay. Oh man, let's got the red dot on. Let's start out with a pot. You want to? Okay. And a 2-liter. Let's go over there and try some red steel. Well, that trigger is sweet. It'll almost get away from you. Oh, we've got a new target over there from Standera. They sent us a couple of those things. They're pretty cool. You put them on 2x4s like that, and you just hang them anywhere you want. Put them in the trunk and hang them up. Man, that's a 10-inch plate on that one. I'll put a link to that in the description. That's pretty cool. I got to put the other one up somewhere. Let's go back to the other target. Hard to miss with this thing. Let's go ahead and take out that cinder block over there. It's bothering me. Oh, I forgot, there's a 2-liter up there. Oh man, this thing will drive nails. Feels good. The only thing about those targets, I've got them closer really than they ought to be. It's AR-500 steel, but if you hit it on the side, it'll dance around on you a little bit, and yeah, it's pretty cool though. I like that target. That was Standera again. We appreciate that. Let's find some more ammo here. Close up our box. Put one of these in my pocket. My high-tech mag pouch. I keep one in all my pants. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. What wants to be shot here? How about this guy? How about let's put a round in first? Yeah. Don't tell anybody I missed that 2-liter on the first shot there, messing around. Killed our propane tank. Let's put a couple of fast ones on this drum. Feels good. Feel like you can't miss. Of course, any good AR, it feels that way. Some of you may not like ARs, and I used to not be that fond of them. I mean, I've had one again since '84, still got it, the Colt A2, and they're just pretty cool rifles. Not something I bring out and shoot a great deal, but they're just amazing creatures. They really are. They tend to work fine. This has the M4 ramp and everything, which I know there's some disagreement on whether that's really needed or not, but as I understand with the M4 length gas system, that it is beneficial based on some of the newer ammo, heavier ammo, more pointed ammo or hollow point ammo, that kind of thing, and the magazine. So it's kind of a why not, especially if you have the M4 length gas system. So it does have that. Only thing I didn't point out about it. John and I both have decided we really like this stock, this Battle Link. I've never used one, but it feels good. It's light and it's really solid. It's not loose like a lot of them. We fired this gun quite a bit too. If you notice, it's solid. It's tight. And you may be more familiar with some of the parts on it, like the Midwest Industries rail and that sort of thing. It's I've not had that particular rail on an AR that we've had in here, but it feels pretty good, I'll have to say. I've got to shoot a little bit more. Are y'all in a hurry? Hey, it's raining on me and I'm not in a hurry. Sorry, John. You just have to be tough. Let's see, I've got one in my pocket. I better keep that one in case I need it to fight off the hordes, angry hordes or something here. All right. See if it works with the Brownells magazine. Oh yeah, we can't quit. We got a watermelon, don't we? There's another pot too that needs smoking. Nice. Oh boy. I'm gonna try that. Now he's settled down, I'm gonna try that guy again over there. Oh, we got a hang up there. One nice thing about that target, the Standera target, is well, positive and negative. The negative is it does dance around a little bit if you don't hit it in the center. So the positive is maybe it's a target for that. You're trying to hit it in the middle, like that. I guess at least it didn't, do the old swivel. That way you don't get that problem. That's pretty neat. Okay, I wonder why we're hanging up with that. Get wet. Okay. Let's get the Magpul mag out. Okay. All right, live TV here, folks. You know how that goes. Well, the other one. There we go. Watermelon time. I shot too low. The old thing I give you instructions on every now and then about how your line of sight is way above your bore line. So something's really close right there. Keep that in mind. You got a zombie right on you. If you aim for the brain, you might not hit the brain, right? So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a couple more with this thing while it's hot. Okay, the old Magpul did the job, no problems. I think that's all we have except this. Okay. Yeah. Let's do one more firing burst here. I'm going to put a few more rounds in one of the Magpuls and just shoot a little bit more. See if there's anything I forgot to lie about here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it has a 1 9 twist on the barrel. It is chrome lined. This one is. They offer these barrels either chrome lined or not. I'm so dumb. I didn't realize. I thought that chrome line was always the best, no matter what. But really, it depends on what you're going to do with it. As I understand, maybe I'm wrong, some of you riflemen, correct me, that if you're going for extreme accuracy, that's really important. The best accuracy you can possibly get, that you might not want chrome lining in your barrel. Okay, generally speaking, it's good, it's best, but the most accurate barrels don't have it generally. Okay, so that's what I have read recently, various sources. But for me, I'm not bench resting at 500 yards and doing that kind of thing. So chrome line's best for me. Maybe a little more durable. Although I take good care of my firearms, they don't rust on me and all that sort of thing. What else about this one? The I'll get that one. The receiver and everything is from forgings. They use a high quality forgings, the aircraft alloy and all that stuff. From what I can gather from these guys, from Jonas, his only intent is to make a really, really good AR. And I think it runs about, with these options, I think this one's around $1,400-1,500. And they don't make much in-house. They just get quality components for it, looks like. So check their website and see what you think. It looks like an interesting company. They've not been in operation all that long, just trying to make really good ARs, and then an interesting story. Jonas was born in a refugee camp and came to this country and experienced the freedom, and then after 9/11 joined the military, and then was wounded and everything, came back and got into to doing this. So pretty interesting fellows, I'll have to say. Don't know them personally other than having chatted with them one time, but seem to make a good AR-15. All right, let's try that thing again. Couldn't get that red dot up high enough. Yeah, it is. You think you're almost on the target. Just have to get it up a little more. Cool. This thing is nice. All right, shall we dump a few here? Let's see how hot it is. Come on, Eric, shake it. I guess I've shot enough. Okay, so anyway, if most of you, well, I won't say most of you, a lot of you have ARs, and there is an argument that there's not a lot of difference necessarily amongst them as far as just picking them up and shooting them. So I guess for that reason, some of these subtle differences are what make the difference. When you got a stock maybe that feels just a little better, maybe it's a little more solid. One thing that bothers me a little bit sometimes with the stock, and they work fine, is they shake a little bit. They have flexibility. They move a lot. Doesn't generally affect the shooting, I guess, but it is nice when one locks in like that. The trigger, velocity trigger, is heavenly. It really is. I think it's a single stage. It feels great, and just the components seem really quality. And it looks like we might have one bad magazine there, but other than that, it seems to work. And in all the shooting we did before the videos, gosh, well, we used several of the Brownells mags, and they generally work. So I'll mark that magazine and keep an eye on it. But as you've heard me talk about ARs, there are things I like about them. Specifically, I can handle a big forearm, a big rail, because I have a big hand. Got a small brain, big hand, kind of evens out. But I do still prefer a smaller rail like that. So that feels pretty good. As I understand, Midwest Industries is a good name in that. So they don't seem to have put any junk on it. So if you're looking for an AR, I guess it's another company that would be worthy of possibly taking a look at. And I can see why. If you're going to buy one, I'm going to spend $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 just to go with LWRC or Daniel Defense or Colt or somebody that they got the name established. It's good. So there's validity in that argument. But there are a lot of good ARs and firearms being made out there that are from like startup companies, and I know it's harder to trust one, especially if you've not known 40 people that own them and have fired them 10,000 rounds. So that's the other side of that, isn't it? But then again, they're kind of modular and mix and match, and if the thing's put together right and it's got quality components, it ought to work, right? So many of you know more about ARs than I do. But they're really growing on me more than I ever thought they would, because I think it's partly because we've had some really nice ones in here with good triggers and good sights. And I really like that Strike Force, that red dot there. That's pretty cool. Yep, that feels good. Feels like a good gun. It might fool us, but right now it feels like a great AR. Civilian Force Arms. They're up in Illinois, and building these things. Check the website if you have interest. Life is good. Just kidding. Life is not good yet. Okay, after the video, well, we're still in the video. I'm confused. No, after I finished, John shot it, and he used this magazine that we were having some trouble with, and it wouldn't work. Every couple of rounds, it malfunctioned. So we'll try it here a second again. There's a difference between something being broken and something being unreliable. Just kind of an opportunity, a little learning moment here for all of us, right? There really is a difference. Just like a Ruger we got in one time in a rifle, the bolt wouldn't work after a couple of rounds. Well, there was a broken gun. There was a problem with the gun. The Ruger American is not an unreliable gun. It's very reliable, right? So, some of the magazines, we've been using the Brownells mags. I've never even found an AR magazine from anybody that's unreliable. And since 1984, when I got into ARs, I mean, you can buy junk magazines, even with worn springs. They just tend to work. Okay, let's see if it's still doing that. But it's so there's something wrong with this magazine. We generally have no problems with any of them, Brownells or anybody. Let's shoot a couple more here. Yeah, see, after 2-3 rounds, it's just doing that. So there's no need to do it. It worked. It happened with John, I think, 3 times, and it's just on that path. So I've marked it. There's something broken about it. That may be the one I sat on when I was doing the bush hogging. I told you in a video a while back, but it worked in that video, but we used it once, I think. Anyway, the magazine's broken. They generally work. I've got about 8 or 10 of those, and they're one of my go-to magazines, just like Magpul. In fact, they got Magpul parts in them for the most part, I think, the followers and everything, and they work. So one thing we'd like not to do is make something look better than it really should, and by the same token, make something look worse than it is. Okay, something better than it is or worse than it is, and that's just one of our mission goals, I guess. It's one of our the things that we feel strong, about. So just wanted to point that out, because those magazines work, and but in all the shooting, that's the only time we had an issue with it. So it was the magazine, but it's not those magazines in general. So anyway, nothing else I guess I want to tell you. I yacked too long in the other video. No, wait a minute, we're still in the video, right? Again, I'm still confused. But let me just reiterate that when you have a nice gun on the range and you're learning, life is good.